So fun to have you all here. We're really excited for the call tonight. I'm going to get our slides pulled up. Oops. There we go. Welcome, welcome.
So glad you guys came on. Sorry it was short notice, but this is long overdue. And we just have some really exciting things that have been percolating for a long time. And we finally felt like the time was right to roll them out across our team. So we're going to go through some of those details on just some things are like kind of subtle shifts and some are a little bit bigger. And you'll notice what those are. And Kristen's going to share a little bit more of like um, the details and like the why behind these changes. But I wanted to start with a little bit of vision casting. I love vision casting. And honestly, like as I was writing these things, I'm like, my heart was just like pounding. Like, this is why we show up every day. This is why we're so thankful for doTERRA. This is why we're thankful for our collective. And I'm just going to read this. All around us, people are stressed, enslaved, purposeless, discouraged, can't read that word, and ill. And we're not on a great trajectory as a society. Distracted is the word I missed. And I have futuristic as my top strength. And I'm like, what does this lead to if we continue on this trajectory? What if nothing changes? It's not good. What does it mean for our families, our schools, our workplaces? But we have knowledge and tools and experience that we bring to provide calming, to provide freedom, focus, and health. We, as a collective, share our experiences, knowledge, and tools to help people live happier, healthier, and more purposeful lives. As we share, we're changing lives one drop, one family, one community at a time until every home is empowered and equipped to live a naturally healthy lifestyle.
I think an important thing to remember is like, even as Tyler reads that, for me, I'm like, I don't feel like I never experience any of those emotions or those descriptions, like discouragement or distraction or like all of those things. I think we can all resonate with that. But I love the quote down here from Mr. Rogers. You guys have probably all heard it all through 2020. Lots of people were sharing this, and it's just so good. It says, when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find the people that are helping. And I think just specifically in the last week, as I've been reflecting on the state of our world and really just like the state of people, and I have been feeling this like overwhelming sense that people feel purposeless, and that has led to a lot of like internal criticism and being frustrated with where they are, and then they start pointing fingers, and there's a lot of like criticism of the people around them, or like this or that caused these things in their life. And I just think like when we can really take ownership of where we are in our life and look to, number one, nourish our own selves and feel where we're at and be intentional with our oils, with our self-care, with our health. And then from that place, look to be that light to other people. It can start to create a positive ripple in the opposite effect. And when we have enough people doing those things, amazing things happen. And so,
can I go off script for a second? So I don't remember who shared it. I think Sandy, I don't know if Sandy is on, probably. I think Sandy, you shared a story about, I think your mother taking LLV and getting a clean bill of health from the doctor at age 70 something. And I saw that and I was just like, this is awesome, because like Callie Kenny shared with us, Kristen shared with Emily, Emily shared with Sandy, Sandy shares with her mom. And there's a whole line of people even before Callie. But that's like the ripples that we talk about. And that's the power of this work that we do, is just by sharing with one person at a time. And it creates a really, really big difference.
Yeah. So today we want to talk specifically about some what ifs. So what if we focused on the right things at the right time with our full intention together as a collective. Since the start, like the reason we chose this name is because I know that as a group, as a community, as a collective, we can go a lot further together than we can by ourselves. So two, what if we could simplify everything we do? I don't know if anybody else has felt this feeling, but I've felt this before in my business. It's like, oh, it's February already. It's the start of a new month. What am I doing this month? What do I have on the plans? And we want to talk about a solution for that tonight. Three, what if we could commit fully to this work together as a collective for 1 year? And when I say commit fully, I mean like we all are going to have to get uncomfortable in some ways. We all are going to have to show up on the days that we feel like quitting. We all together have to commit in order for it to have the impact that it needs to. I think that I just have like this curiosity in my head of like, what if we all fully commit to each other and to our own vision and our own goals? Like obviously everybody's goals are at different capacities, right? I'm not saying everybody commits at the same level, but I'm saying, what if we all commit to the level that our goal is at and go for that this year? Like what could happen?
Yeah.
Four, what if we focused on the right things at the right time with that? Dang it. That looks like that's on there twice, apparently, because that one's really important. Sorry about that. So really what we want to talk about tonight, we hope it can create these solutions. Number one, on the LDC, I truly believe like our heartbeat has always been, how do we elevate the experience of our customer and really help them to see maximum results in their health, help them to feel truly empowered, meaning like they know how to take their health in their own control more than they have in the past. Instead of handing it over to so-called experts, they know how to listen to their body when it whispers. And also for wellness advocates, how do we take ownership to help elevate the experience of our wellness advocates to see results with the goals that they have in front of them? Two, we hope this blueprint helps to really boost our confidence in the value of what we provide to our team. Because I think that's really important when we truly know, like, these are the things that I offer my team. And that's why you need to get started with oils with me, because I have so much to offer you. Three, we hope this creates a strong sense of community, even stronger than we've had in the past, and collaboration amongst our team. That has already been kind of the reality of the LDC, but we hope it just continues to increase that. We want to reduce extra work and increase the ability to duplicate, because that is where the magic is at. We all can do addition in this business, but multiplication is so much better, and we want everybody to experience more of that. We want to have a Zoom room running all year round with continuing education. We want to simplify the onboarding process to plug people into education. We want to allow our team to focus as much as possible on sharing, inviting, and following up, because those are what only each of us as individuals have space to do. Like that's the responsibility we all have to keep doing that. And it's the other things that we can collaborate and simplify on. We want to maximize our effort. We want to provide experience outside of Facebook for those that want it. And we want to work smarter instead of harder to attract higher and attract to a greater extent. So first, that's going to start with, some of you guys already know this, but we really are working intentionally this year. We want to change the way we're doing our leader trainings. And I think what we learned in the last year is that Elise's system, like the daily mentor calls, it's incredible and it works. And I love her trainings. They have completely changed our business in so many ways. But I truly believe that like once you've experienced it and mastered it, you can add your own flavor, and there's certain things that you can tweak and make more your own. And specifically for our team, what Tyler and I have experienced is our weekly trainings were good for a season, but dang, we're like ready for a switch up. And so this year we're going to be working to do monthly team trainings for the most part. And we're hoping to make them very similar to the call that we did at the end of January that was all about the loyalty rewards program and how to get people on the loyalty rewards. We want them to be very like in-depth training, so they'll always be an hour long. And we want them to be based on topics that you and your team need. So we already have like a list that people have shared with us that they really want to learn about, but those are things that we always want to hear from you. Feedback, topics that you guys want to learn about, trainings that you want, but we hope to do those once a month on usually the last Monday of the month. It depends on when the last day of the month falls, but typically it will be the last Monday of the month at around 8 o'clock or at 8 o'clock. And you'll always be able to find the details on our team calendar. So this is the one moment where I just want to very briefly take a pause from our PowerPoint. And I want to show you guys this in our Facebook group. This is the Wellness Leaders page right here. And if you didn't already know, this very top announcement post, this is something really important to like have for yourself and also share with wellness advocates on your team. But this leader calendar here, I will continue to work diligently to keep up to date. When you click on it, this is what it looks like. And there's a little plus sign down here in the corner. And if you use Google Calendar, you can actually add this to your Google Calendar. So then automatically all the things that are on this leader calendar are going to show up on your calendar. And I think systems and like just being organized have been so important to me in this business. We're all so busy and have so many things on our plate. And so the Facebook group is great, but I think a lot of things just get lost there. And so again, as we move forward, I will continue to work really diligently to keep things in there and then also include the Zoom link within the details of the event on the calendar. So our training this month is going to be all about finding and launching builders. And we're really excited because we've had a simplified new build, or we've had a new builder checklist that we've been working on for a long time. But we're going to launch it to y'all and we're doing some simplification of it. And we think that that will be really supportive for you guys as you work with new builders over the course of the next year. In March, we want to talk, we're tentatively thinking we're going to talk about strategically investing in your business and what that can look like. In April, we're hoping to talk about how to create systems in your business that create simplification. And through all of those trainings that we do, we want to create a library ultimately for our wellness advocates, that these are things that you can continue to share and use as you move your business forward. And the other thing I'll say is you'll notice that these are only one night a month. And so I think that this definitely provides room for like lots of incredible leaders that we have on our team to create their own team trainings, because I think there's just this reality of everybody's teams are in such different places and spaces and need different things. And we have some rock star leaders on our team. And so we want there to be room for other teams to break out in like smaller groups and do trainings that are really applicable to the season that they're in. And we think this once a night schedule, or once a month schedule creates more space for that. And also the other thing that I would say is one thing that has always been really important to both of us, and I would just encourage all of you guys, I'm sure you're all doing it in different ways, shapes, or form. And if you're not, I encourage you to add it. And we'll talk about this more when we talk about our like a simplified success schedule. But I just think mindset work and personal development, sometimes that's time with Jesus, sometimes that's listening to a podcast, sometimes that's journaling through what you're going through. That is so important. It's always been important, but I think in this season, it's even more important. And so again, those are things that hopefully this will create space for, because we're not having a team training once a week anymore. So the second thing is, and again, this is what we're planning to do for the LDC. There might be like different branches of our team that are doing different things, but we want this to be available to everybody. So for continuing education all through 2021, we are going to be doing on the first Thursday of each month an LDC Essential Oil Forum. I'm super excited about this. Yeah.
Can you describe the format?
So really this came from a place of, we heard another leader talking about, she's a doctor and her team has been doing weekly forums with doctors on their team, which I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to go to their forums. Like, that sounds amazing. And so this has come from a place of like, we have a lot of experts on our team, and some of you might be like expert stay-at-home moms. That's still like a very applicable title, but we have like nurse practitioners, we have nutritionists, we have nurses, like we have we have dads, incredible dads. We have lots of experts on our team. And so this first Thursday of the month is designed to be a forum for new customers to join. And when they register for the event, they'll be able to submit questions that they would like answered during that monthly forum. So it's meant to be a very basic forum, but hopefully really high belief building for brand new customers. And it helps them to get questions that they have answered very quickly. Obviously, you're going to be meeting with them for wellness consults, but this will just add a layer onto that. And we're doing it strategically at the beginning of the month, because we can highlight things like the product of the month and teach people about ultimately loyalty rewards program perks during that time. It would be a small part of that time, but we wanted to do it at the beginning of the month so it helps people get on the loyalty rewards program before the 15th of the month. Then the second Thursday, we're going to have a once a month standing continuing education class. Last year, we did like 3 or 4 rounds of Elise's 8-week series for continuing education, and it's great. And I will just say, I think Melissa's team is like crushing it. They have like awesome attendance for these, but once a week for us personally felt like a lot, like a big ask for customers. And so we want this to be just a standing like one time a month. There's a little bit more like scarcity around it, so it creates more excitement for people to go. And we'll still have incentives for them to be able to earn free diffusers and things like that. But we're just going to do one 201 continuing education class, and we'll rotate the topics. The same as we did with previous continuing education. P.S. If you have any questions as we go along, make sure to throw them in the chat and we'll come back to them. So then the third week, we on our team have been doing a study, an essential oil study once a month since October. And we've loved it. It's been really great. We've learned a lot through it, but ultimately it's been a great tool to help people experience doTERRA. One thing that we're realizing is there are people that will say yes to doing the study, even if they really have no interest in necessarily switching to natural things. They're like, oh yeah, free stuff. Okay. So we want to switch the name of our studies instead to call them an experience. And it's a very similar format, almost identical, but I'll talk about the shifts on the next slide. But really that third week is going to be the beginning of our experience, and we'll be focused on taking care of our people that are in the experience. And for me personally, I'll just say I am focusing a lot on getting referrals and getting my referrals plugged into the experience. I think asking my customers for a referral that would want to try essential oils for 7 days is a lot easier of a bridge in today's world. I feel like it's harder to get class hosts because people don't really love, in my experience, people don't love hosting something online. And it's harder to have classes in homes. So this is one of the ways that I'm working to expand my network and find other connections is through referrals. And I want to connect them to the experience. And then on the last Thursday of the month, we're going to start rotating again. These will be our premiers and above to collaborate to teach these classes. So basically, if your team is wanting to be involved in any of the stuff that I'm listing out, then the premier and above on your team is going to have to help with teaching. And that's one of the ways that they can support you. So we're on the last Thursday of every single month, we're going to have a standing essential oil 101 class. And that's just a really simple way to have an essential oil class at the end of the month so we can all be finishing the month strong.
like Kristen said, a lot of times I know we wish, and I'm sure all of you wish, there was like at least one day, preferably 2 days between each month, um, like between one month ending and the next one starting. So this will be like a good rhythm or like a good baseline to know that at least these things are happening. There's at least one one-on-one class that you can invite to. There's at least, and your team can invite to. And there's at least the experience going on each month. Um, yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
highlight that.
So, this is like basically a skeleton that we think will enable everybody to be freed up a little bit more. And I think there are some people that will engage with what's going on here, and that's going to be what they do for the whole year. They like are plugging and playing, connecting people into these opportunities. And there's some of you that your goals are much bigger and you are wanting to continue to move forward in the ranks and continue to grow your team faster. And we're hoping that this schedule really frees up more of your time to be able to have more creativity, to like have that time to go help launch a leader and help launching them. It's like this, the standing 101 class could maybe be a portion of somebody's launch, but then you have the other classes in place to help launch your leader. Or maybe you really like doing stuff in person and that is available and an option for you right now. And so this standing online stuff helps you still serve your community that's at a distance to you while you can still plug and do some awesome things in person. Again, everybody's goals are different, but we hope this just opens up options for people. So coming back to the idea of the essential oil study. So we're giving it a name change. We're going to call it an experience. This is for my team personally. I know Melissa's team, I think, is going to continue with essential oil studies, but we're going to continue to offer them for 7 days long. And the reasons why, again, we want to, number one, have the option for our leaders to be able to charge for these, because we think even if you're charging like super cheap, like $5, $10, it just creates this level of value around the time and everything that you're giving them. There's that exchange of value. And then if that person enrolls with you, you can reimburse them the fee that they paid to be in the experience. But I think that's kind of a filter that's in place that really helps take it the level of commitment for your person. So you're not just getting somebody hopping in the study because they're like, oh, it's free stuff. They're more like, oh, I'm kind of curious. I'd pay $5 to $10 to try essential oils. And that's more the type of person we're going for.
Yeah. And we have friends that have done this on other teams and they've seen really good success with it. You might have a narrower group of people that take you up on the invitation to participate, but you'll have a higher rate of enrollment at the end.
So we're not saying that you have to charge,
Right.
but we feel like when you call it a study, you can't really charge for it. And if it's called an experience, you can. The second thing is when I've invited people to be a part of the study, my verbiage is a lot of times like, I'm doing this study and I need 5 people to be in it. And would you be up for being a part of it? Because I just want to learn. And I. And what we found is we want to like flip that verbiage. We want it to be like, this is where we do these things called essential oil experiences. And it's a really powerful way for you to experience doTERRA and see what it could do for your health. And it kind of helps you flip that verbiage and make it more about them. So it doesn't feel like they're doing us a favor by joining the study. So that's just a little name switch, and we'll be doing that right away for February for our essential oil experience that starts later this month. So for all those planners out there, I like to know like the big picture kind of flow, and then it helps me be freed up to focus more on the day-to-day. And so this is a very bare bones idea of like basically what's going on for the year. Um, and there could be things that switch, and we never know what doTERRA is going to do for promotions. And like, there's things that obviously we just can't know in advance. But I'm just going to quick fly through this. So this gives those of you that like to know like the big picture, a little bit of a vision for that. So we're in February right now. We're already going strong in the 21-day challenge. I think doTERRA is doing a really great job. I'm like obsessed with new products. I don't know about the rest of you guys. We actually did the smoothie recipe today that doTERRA posted, and Ever like loved it. Elliot didn't so much. Tyler and I liked
That's
it.
good.
And we didn't even have bananas. We made it with mangoes instead of bananas. So I was impressed. Then our continuing education is actually going to start next Thursday. So right away, with an immune support class. Then in March, Diamond Club is going to be starting. And we have, I know of at least 3 leaders on the LDC that are going to be participating in Diamond Club. So basically that means that enrollments all through Diamond Club are going to be getting awesome incentives. So you want to make friends with whoever's doing Diamond Club so you can get your people those incentives, those free things. And then we're going to do likely our continuing education class on cleansing and digestion, because then in April, we're going to do our LDC wide cleanse. And stay tuned because we're going to be switching up some of the ways that we do the cleanse. And I'm super excited about it, but this is not the call for that. We basically want to create some breakouts to talk more specifics on Zoom with people that are participating in the cleanse to get more connection. Diamond Club will be going on. We'll do a toxin-free living continuing education class. May will be Diamond Club still, pain management. And then June will be the last month of Diamond Club with a hormone continuing education. Then in July, we'll do emotional well-being. August is when the applications for Silver Club will be going out, which basically Silver Club is for anybody that has not hit the rank of silver. So anybody below silver can do Silver Club. And Silver Club runs September, October, November. September is when annual convention is. Yay.
Let's all pray it's in person.
Let's go to Salt Lake City. And then you can see the continuing education. And then December will be our normal 12 days of Christmas giveaways, and hopefully a frankincense promo. I have no idea what to expect from doTERRA for BOGOs this year. I mean, if we had to guess historically, we would hope for
July and November.
July and November. Would they do it in March?
They did it.
They did in April last year, I guess.
I don't think they're happening this month.
We'll yeah, I don't think BOGOs would happen this month.
Recorded,
200 PV promo. Yeah. So then for a simple success schedule. So for those of you that say have like, I don't know, everybody's at different points with their goals, maybe like 10-ish hours or between 5 and 10 hours that you're putting into your business. This is a good place to start for what you're doing on a daily basis. And I really, truly believe that success is scheduled. Success is planned. You are not going to grow your business on accident. I promise. And so again, with this whole call, we want to simplify what it can look like for you guys to grow your business and see results and help the people around you get healthier. So this is an example. It does not have to look exactly like that. And for those of you that have bigger goals, you're obviously going to be doing more than what is on this schedule. But Mondays are once a month team call. And then also I think Mondays provide like, if you're somebody that doesn't normally do personal development, then it provides an opportunity for you to schedule it, like Monday nights are maybe your team call, or if there's not a team call, you're doing something for personal development, whether it's reading a great book, listening to a podcast, journaling, all the things we talked about before. And then also skill development. There are so many incredible trainings out there. And that's another reason why we think that's only needed to really do one team call a month. Like if you haven't listened to the daily mentor calls, all of them, then Monday night is a great night to be doing that.
And not just listen to them, actually like do the things that it says.
Yeah, like practice scripts.
Yeah.
Like we do that, just so you know. We just had a business opportunity meeting that Tyler and I both invited to, and we're both like script training, talking about our texts, what we're saying in the first text, and then talking about how we're gonna lead the phone call and all those sorts of things. So like we do that stuff. I had to skill up. And then Mondays are a great time to invite to the classes. So if Thursday, it depends on what you prefer, how much time you want in advance you want to give your people, but it's really important in my experience. Like I have to have a day where I'm like already focusing on, okay, like Mondays are my time to invite to continuing ed. Mondays are my time to follow up and invite people to the intro classes, and plan that. Because otherwise, for me, it becomes really easy to just like leave my customers hanging and they have nobody leading them because I'm not being intentional with them. Tuesdays, you'll see like almost every day, I think it's really great to have a goal of maybe bare bones connecting with 2 people every day. And that could be new people, or that could be supporting your existing customers. That can be connecting with your builders on certain days, but just having that like simple little challenge for yourself. And I find a lot of times when I'm like, okay, I'm going to connect with at least 2 customers today, I end up being like, oh, I like see this order on my back office and I'm like, they're going to process an order above 125 and it's set for the 17th. I need to talk to them. And I end up talking to more people than what I planned. Thursday, when there is a class, you want to send out reminders to people. And then Friday is when you can be intentional to follow up with people from the classes that they were at and either help them enroll or help existing customers that want to get on LRP, help them go through that and get it set up. But really it can be that simple. And that's where when our premiers and higher are collaborating to create these awesome classes, it just gives you space to focus on that like number one business building activity, which is inviting, following up with people you've given samples, connecting with people. Maybe it's on social media, maybe it's in person, maybe you go somewhere specifically to meet more people, but doing that work of contacting, inviting, following up, all those sorts of things. And the other thing that I would suggest is just for my own mind, and maybe not everybody needs to do this, but like when I am reaching out to customers, I usually try to create blocks of time where these are the times in my week that I would plan a meetup. So if I'm going to plan a wellness consult, or like we were just with some friends and she's talking about joining the loyalty program, and for my brain, it's helpful to have like little boundaried times. So for me, it's usually Tuesday and Thursday afternoons are my times where I'm available to meet up with people. And then on other days, I'm focusing more intentionally on other things, but having those time blocks planned out. And then Saturday and Sunday, I think are really, really valuable times to really review this schedule, look at your names list, plan your week. Like maybe that's meal planning, like eliminating the stress that can derail all of these other important things from happening. For us, I know if we're well planned, our week goes so much better.
It's kind of like budgeting, right? Like your finances, you're telling your money like where it's all going to go. If you don't budget, the money just goes and you don't know necessarily where or how much to each category. The same thing is with time. If you don't like schedule and delegate your time, or block your time off like Kristen was talking about, then it tends to just get away. And I know we have a lot of moms on here and a lot of young children.
Yeah.
And our tip there is always to work more off of a priority list. If your children are like ours, sometimes they nap for an hour and sometimes it might be 3 hours. So it's hard to plan if that's a situation. But if you know, like, I'm going to do this first, and if my kid is still sleeping, then I'm going to move on to this, and then I'm going to move on to this. And if you get to your third thing in one nap, you're a rock star.
It's true. So the next thing that we wanted to briefly talk about is what we have to offer. And I think really for me, it's always, Yeah, I just want you all to know the ways that we can currently support you in this season in our business.
So
And
many ways.
sometimes I think it's not always clear cut and dry. You guys might not know that we offer all the things that we do. And so one a top priority for Tyler and I is to create systems that can be duplicated or used in your businesses. So for some of you that have been around for a long time, you've seen things like Oil Camp, the units on the Facebook group. Tyler worked really hard at creating the ditch and switch thing that you can share with new customers, things like that. And that kind of fits too with creating content. The second piece that you can duplicate, like for instance,
The
I
ebook.
post pretty regularly in the LDC Facebook page, and those are just like ideas for content that you can duplicate and share in your own way wherever you want. The ebooks that are in the LDC, those are great things that you can use to share out or even use as incentives for people to enroll with you. The third point would be that we really strive to create collaboration for continuing education opportunities like what we're doing here. We look to lead trainings like we shared about earlier in the call. One thing we've been doing that's more unique in the past like 6 months is we've been doing opportunity meetings, and these are really just like a 30-minute Zoom call where we talk about doTERRA as an opportunity, and you can invite to it strategically. And they've been going really, really well. It's just honestly for us been a great way to get intentional around inviting people into the business. And I think that's a really, really important thing to be doing, is thinking about how are we in a regular basis in our business inviting people to join us in this work. And the great thing in doTERRA is that you don't need a ton of business builders, but you need a few great people to run with. And so just being intentional about that. The next thing would be, we do 3-way calls. So when you have somebody that's interested in the business, we do calls with you and that person that's interested in the business to really help hone in on what they want from a doTERRA business, and then how they can make a plan to get started. And we have like loved doing those. They're so fun. And it's created a lot of clarity for people from the start. So we've seen people actually get started in their business so much faster and see a lot more momentum quicker because of those. We do a ton of giveaways, if you guys didn't realize that, on the LDC, and those are for all of your customers to join. We're like always mailing out giveaways, whether it's from like the studies, now they'll be called experiences, or in the LDC group. And then we do gifts for continuing education on our team. For people that are premier and lower, we give diffusers to their customers that attend. We're creating clarity still on this, but I think moving forward this year, it will likely be 6 to 8 of either the continuing education classes or the forums. They can get counted for both of those. And then we're the admins for the different Facebook groups. And then we work to create or share strategy, encouragement, and support for you guys. So now we want to,
awesome.
yeah. Okay. Who's going crazy about this month? It's amazing, huh? So we wanted to make sure you guys all feel like super confident about what's going on. Number one, obviously the 21-day challenge is in full swing, and doTERRA is doing a ton of giveaways with that, which is super fun. The shampoo and conditioner are back. Yay! As of today. And then the On Guard hand wipes are still coming yet this month. And then what? Oh, go ahead. So the other thing that we wanted to walk through is that your existing customers, sometimes it's helpful for me personally to like spell this kind of stuff out, because it increases my belief and why it's a no-brainer for my customers to take advantage of the promotions. And I also like to spell it out for them, because if it's not clear to me, then it's likely very much so not clear to them. So one thing that's really, really amazing, it's always amazing. The loyalty rewards program is incredible. I think we all know that, but this month is awesome. And it's a great month for people to stock up on things like shampoo and conditioner, things that you're going through anyways. And when our customers place a 200 PV order, they're going to get $90 worth of free stuff, all the On Guard stuff, and then the lemon eucalyptus, as long as they place their order before the 15th of the month. And then at minimum, basically, if they're like brand new to the loyalty rewards program, they're going to get 24 points, which is equivalent to $24 back through LRP. But if they've been on LRP for over a year, like we have, then they're
70
getting
or something.
64, at least 64 points back through LRP, which is $64. So it's like it's $150 worth of free stuff for spending 200. So this is how like people need to get strategic to make healthy products not expensive.
And if you need a guide, if you were on the training where we talked about the what did we call it? Capturing the value of LRP that we did a couple weeks ago. We talked about this, but if you haven't seen that, first of all, go watch it. But the 1-page sheet that Kristen made, it's right here.
This
On the LDC under files, or you can just search for it. It's called the Ditch and Switch Guide. So we use that as part of the Ditch and Switch challenge, but it's the exact same thing and works really great for wellness consults. Or if you have customers that maybe they're longtime customers, but they are needing help figuring out like, what am I going to spend 200 PV on? This is a great guide to help them figure out like, well, let's start switching over some of the stuff you're already buying. Let's reallocate parts of your budget instead of buying it at these other places that don't give you anything back, buying them from doTERRA, and they're better for you anyway.
Yeah. So then I know that there's quite a few people that are actually launching their doTERRA business for the first time this month.
Great month to launch.
What an epic month to launch. Because any new customer that's joining with you can get $80 worth of free stuff, all the On Guard stuff, plus $50 doTERRA dollars for free if they're placing a 200 PV order. So they can get both of those for free. And the other sweet thing is, this is just like kind of a scenario, an example that I wanted to make sure like we're all thinking about right now, because obviously every time we're helping a new customer get started, we're earning commission on that, right? Which is awesome. But this month you're getting commission plus every time you enroll someone with a $150 order, you're also getting those 50 free doTERRA dollars. So as an example, if you enroll 5 people with a Healthy Essentials kit, you're going to get 250 doTERRA dollars plus $200 in commission. So just super epic, and what a great way to like build your arsenal of oils and be able to buy a ton of oils to use for studies / experiences, like all those sampling things that can be more expensive and cost money. Like, why not enroll a bunch of people this month and get a bunch of doTERRA dollars to pay for those sorts of things? So really, really cool stuff happening this month. And then the other exciting thing we want to tell you guys.
Okay, so we are, as a team, we are closing in on 4,000 members, which is insane. I just looked it up. We're like 128 shy of 4,000, which I kind of want to go down like memory lane for a second. I remember like this was like 5 years ago, 5 years ago. We were in Melissa's living room with Callie, Kenny, and us and Melissa.
Callie is our enroller.
Our enroller, yes. And we were like asking her everything and anything. And I don't even know who asked her this question, but they're like, at what point does it feel like you're like, you have momentum? Like you're not like pushing a rock like up a hill. It's like either you have more people pushing it with you, or it's like gravity takes effect. She's like, I'd say it's about like when you have about 100 people on your team, then it feels like that. And I remember when she said that, my jaw was just like, 100 people? That is so many people. And now 4.5, 5 years later, we are almost to 4,000 people, which is amazing. And it's just the power that we've been talking about this whole time of one person at a time. And when there's more of us doing it, we're experiencing multiplication and not just addition. So if you've been around a while, we usually do some kind of celebration for the milestone member. And this time we wanted to do what you see on the screen. So any wellness advocate who enrolls the 4,000th member on our team, will donate $100 to whatever charity they want, whatever charity they choose, and then they'll also get a fun little gift.
What's a fun
from
little
us.
gift?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it depends on who wins.
So now we wanted to go through any questions you guys have. Thanks so much for joining. And really, truly, I don't know. Yeah, Tyler mentioned like Sandy Joyner, what she shared on the LDC page. This week, I met with a customer. She wanted to get a starter kit for her son. And she enrolled with me when we first moved to Waco. And she said that her and her husband are in their 60s. They're kind of like a retired couple. And she shared that she doesn't remember the last time they've taken a pain medication. And she talked about how much they love lemongrass. And then she said, yeah, and for our heartburn, like for me, the oil that works best is like the citrus oils. They just like take care of heartburn for me so fast. And then she's like, but for him, ginger works the best. So he loves the ginger drops, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like one of those moments where I'm like, that is what our yes does. Our yes empowers people to make incredible changes in their health. And not only that, I'm like looking at y'all on the screen and I'm like, I've had conversations with you guys about your goals in the business and what you're seeing change and paychecks you're getting and things like that. And that's so fun. And I'm really honored to be a part of this collective and all of you guys, the way you're saying yes, showing up. And really, like, for me, my word for this year is courage. And I just think always courage is needed in the work that we do, or just like sticking your neck out there to try to help someone. It requires courage. But I think even more so in our world today, there's so many things that are pulling at us to make us discouraged, to make us feel purposeless, to make us sit back and just like point fingers and criticize, or like feel like nothing can change, hopelessness, all that kind of stuff. And I just am super blessed to like see all of you and know that you're the ones that are saying yes, and you're choosing to have courage and share tools that work with people and help people and be the helpers.